What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you had a good day of trading yesterday, even though we had a little bit of an inside consolidation day. Looks like we are off to a little bit different of a start today, so we'll see what happens. But man, we got the squadron piling in. Good morning to Adam. Good morning to Albert. We got Amy in the house. Good morning, Andy, Brian, Christopher, Diane. We got Justin gonna rock with us. Good morning to Kevin, Lawrence, Lauren, Martina, Nancy, Ron, Sebastian, Tanya, Wally, all my peeps out there, YouTube land. I got one screen today. I'm in New York. We got Richard Jet. Good morning to Ivo. All my larkers in the background. Good morning to all you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe button. Adam says, at Ron, let's make some R's. Yeah, team, let's rock today. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can find. And we'll start with, we got some news. We got a ECB news earlier today in regards to some rate hikes. We've got some PPI news that came out. Actually came in a little bit hot. Market took a small little push down. We were already up prior to that, and then we've recovered since. So again, PPI is coming in a little bit hot. Pretty much if you take out gas and energy, though, it was more in line. So we do know that obviously oil has been going up. That's going to deeply impact some of the inflation numbers. So we'll see what happens with that. But I think decent enough for probably, I think, the Fed to hold off on raising rates. And I think the market is looking at that as well. So we'll see what happens. But we do have a little gap up. We are above pretty much that last pivot. All of the VPOCs. This is a retest day. So I would like to see this thing come back down a little bit. Pretty good gap, though. Pretty good gap. If we do come back down 448.33, we'll actually check to see if we hit there. We do have a slight little resistance. I would say somewhere right here around 449. So if we could break this 449 zone, I think we're off to the races. Nothing really holding us back at that point until 450.07. 450 is obviously going to be a key number. And then 450.69 to the higher side. If we do start to break down a little bit, 448.23 is the zone I'm looking to break. And then I think we do see a pullback probably to about 446.91. That's if we break down. Again, I think this is just going to be a small little retest gap, which could be retested again, just pre-market here. So let's see. A little bit of a rise. And then we're looking for, what was that number again? A little bit of a 448.23. So let's see if we hit that one pre-market. 448.53. Yep. So we've already been back there. So we've already kind of done that little retest pre-market as well. So let's see if we probably just, honestly, I think I want to stay bullish. Even in terms of pockets of liquidity, I mean, we got nothing really holding us up. I'm looking at that 449.80, 450 type zone. So I think we have a decent amount of room bullish out of the gate. I see Lauren's got some tickers coming in. BEA beautiful. Yep. If you guys have tickers, throw those into the chat as well. And we will look to cover those. For the Qs. Good little gap up. We do have a resistance approaching a little bit more on the Qs. So to the bullish side, I'm looking for about 376.85. If that one could break, which we've already retested that. So it is a little bit more likely that can break. And then the next bigger target I think we're watching is the 378.38. So we have one little resistance. I do think it's breachable at this 376, and then that gives us a decent move to 378. Still inside of this little gap and go. I'd really want to see this candle break. So I do think this 376.93 we probably get held up, maybe a pullback. Probably need one or two times to try to break through that, at least in a daily perspective. And then I think we are running a little bit more bullish. What I do like, even though we are inside on this candle, the fact on this gap and go that we are now gapping up past where this gap and go started. So where this candle opened, 375.25, that does give me a little bit more want to be bullish sentiment as well. So I think we're looking fairly decent in the market so far. Let me see if I missed any tickers before Lawrence. Nope. So I got PayPal, Visa, Costco, Penn. Let's take a look at PayPal. Nice little gap up. Technically, it is a retest gap, but we are breaking through some of those wicks. We're also right at to slightly above that last little VPOC. I think this one looks bullish. I'd be concerned about targets on this one, but 64.27 is my first target. After that, 64.99, so we'll call it $65. Looks decent though. It is technically a retest. I like this level. It should hold where we're at now. So I really want this thing to hold 63.68. That does look decent. Nice little double bottom, higher lows. Yeah, probably look for some bullish continuation on this one. Let's put this one higher on the list. It looks good. I'm concerned about targets on it. Otherwise, it looks pretty decent. Let's see how slow does Trading View want to go. Let me refresh this real quick. Let's see if we get a refresh. If that helps at all. PYPL. There we go. There we go. I'll bring that to the top of the list. Beautiful. All right, let's take a look at Visa. Visa. Gap down, do something a little bit different than the markets. Gap down. This is a gap and go. Nice little reversal candle yesterday coming in. Tiny bit of a support though. Let's see if there's news on this one. Sector update, financial Visa to explore potential exchange offer for bank-owned shares amid stock overhang. Interesting. Unconventional share class structure when it went public, and the company said Wednesday that it will discuss shareholders whether amid means of resolving a potential overhang in the stock. Payment technology company, all right, yada yada yada. All right, market not taking it too well, but looks like they're messing around with the shares. We are at that little bit of support. Pretty decent gap down though. Also on this gap, if we were to probably fib from here to here, this is about a 50% retracement. So might be an interesting spot to actually look for a bounce in the zone, even though it is a retest. But definitely one to keep our eyes on. If we start really breaking down, we'll throw some targets out there. We are below, I think, a key level. And I think we might have a little bit more room to run down. That'd be about 241.54. And again, I think it's somewhere at that level, we probably have some interest from some bulls trying to buy it up. So I don't know how much further this one will fall, but pretty decent gap out of the gate on a day that we are pretty bullish. So it's at least doing something a little bit different. I wish we weren't directly at support on it. Costco, the cost. Good gap up, retest gap, clearing most VPOCs. I got one little zone on this one. This is 562.42. So about 2 cents higher, maybe a little bit more, maybe about 8 cents higher. But if we can start clearing, really this I'll call it 462.50. So we're pretty close to it. So about 10 cents. If we can get a little bit higher than that, there's nothing really stopping us until probably 564.74. This is a retest gap. Let's see if we can get it to come down a little bit. Otherwise, that does look pretty bullish for takeoff. I think that would be buy the dip if we could get one. Try to move this one a little bit higher. Lots of things moving. Lots of things moving today. I'm looking for something that has a nice gap, but plenty of range on it. If I can find that one. So far, all decent gaps, not crazy range. Let's see if Penn can come in with a little bit more. Good gap and go on Penn. All those moving averages are still lined up bearish. The trend has been bearish, even after the ESPN news. Still just absolutely getting crushed. So ESPN bets is not helping it yet. And we're gonna have a big resistance somewhere around here, 22.72. So if it goes up a little bit higher, I think there's gonna be a lot of pressure on this one to continue to sell. So I don't know if I'm sold on this gap and go yet. Probably the other three I like a little bit better so far. DAL. Abandoned baby. Interesting. If the profit outlook was cut, but revenue view was upbeat. So profit was cut, but revenue, they're actually looking to increase, which is good. That could be abandoned baby. So again, I don't know about today because we are about to hit some resistance. So somewhere around $40.72. This will be one to watch though. We had a good little support right down here at 39.24. I had a few lines on this chart that is bouncing off one of them. I do see some resistance above us. So on a day trade, I don't know, it could be a little wonky. But even if we pull up Tesla just to kind of show us what the effect of an abandoned baby could be, it could be a start to a decent move on Delta. So same little thing here, sell. You got that abandoned baby, gap up, very similar to it. This gap is a little bit more impressive just because we're inside that previous red day candle. And then we got that takeoff. So I don't know if this one stays open or if we come back for the retest. If it stays open though, I would be looking bullish, slightly bullish on a shorter term outlook. Again, day trading on it might be a little tough, but if that gap stays open, that could be a fun one to keep track of. We got Etsy, and then we'll take a look deeper into Tesla. Oil prices, oil price is definitely going to impact Delta. It's going to impact Ford, GM. It's going to impact UPS, FedEx, a lot of anything travel, cruise ships. So definitely going to impact them. The only thing with a lot of the airlines, though, it might not be a direct impact. Might not be direct. Usually they're buying contracts about a year in advance so that they could kind of work into their margins. So they're already paying kind of a flat rate. If it stays up for a longer amount of time and doesn't come down, then when they have to renegotiate the deal for oil, that will eventually affect them. But yeah, usually they're not subject to immediate fluctuations in the market. We got Etsy. Decent gap up on Etsy as well. Technically a little, I mean, you have a high wave, technically was green. So let's see if this one pulls back. Just because I'm looking at my next little target would be 69.44. So the closer I think we could buy this thing to 66.95 gives us the best risk to reward, but we'll throw it up there on the list as well. And we'll watch it. I would love to see some kind of at least a little bit of a pullback on this one. I mean, it looks bullish. If you're going to play it, I think bullish would be the direction. We're trapping some bears, and this is why I think we could get that pullback. We're trapping some bears, right? A little bit could be the start of something. Otherwise, we're not really trapping that many bears. All of that selling, all of those bears still profitable. We are at some kind of decent longer term support on this one. So I think this is a spot where you might get some interest from some swing traders coming in, trying to just buy low, sell high. It is a decent gap, but again, we're probably not trapping too many people yet. And the bigger next immediate target, I think that would take me to about 72.39. So if this one can come back a little bit further, come in for a bigger retest, I think it's worth keeping on the list to buy the dip on it. Give me the best risk to reward. We all know where the stops got to go, right? So stops got to be somewhere underneath this high wave, 63.26. And the best setup we can get for risk reward, I like it. We'll get that one higher. Go, 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 go. Go under UAL might be interesting too. So we'll put Etsy there. All right, the Tessie. Tessie with let me move some of these things. Tesla's still fighting. I still like it bullish. We're going to be a little bit range bound. So again, we do have to watch this 273.63 zone. We're inside day from yesterday. And more importantly, we're still inside of this bullish day. So watch that resistance 273.78. The closer you could buy it to 271.44, I think that will give us the best risk to reward. So let's see if this one dips first. I do like it everything in a bullish direction on it. So still don't want to short it. And I don't think we have much range to short, but if this thing pulls back first, somewhere around that 271.44 zone would be my first potential spot. Obviously, we did have a little bit of a bull trap on this thing. And I think until this wick gets breaking out, that's not confirmation. I really don't want to wait that long. And I think it is bullish. And this is all consolidation for probably the next push higher. Unless some kind of crazy news comes out or something like that, that would cause this thing to drop. And then we're looking at retests closer to 251. But until that point, I think everything bullish on Tesla is the way to go right now. I think everybody's eyeing down that gap fill up there. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I want to stay bullish. It is going to be a little bit probably range bound today, I think, until it's not. So we will put this on the list, throw this up there. We do watch Tesla every single day. So Raj wants to take a look at NVIDIA. So a little bit of a gap up. We're sitting right at 459. We have one little moving average coming in. And we are at this resistance. If this could break, so anything above this I'll call it 459 even. Anything above 459, I'd like to lean long. Technically, as a retest gap. I don't expect probably this pullback to be that huge. Oh, yep, 459. Was it the one when we were doing the 101 we were looking at? We would have, I think, called the exact bottom of that that one day. Why don't we just go all in, Raj, and just turn off our computers and call it a week? Next stop on this one will give us some decent range, so about $10 higher from here. Actually, about $19 higher from here. 459 now, so about $10 from here. But yep, 469.48 would be my target on this one. I do want to see this one tick a few pennies higher first, get me above that 459 range, and that looks good to continue higher. But again, oh wait, hold on, I thought I was talking about Adobe because that was your next ticker. We'll see Adobe. But yeah, this one, it does have a little bit of resistance here. We got a moving average coming in. Again, same type of thing. If we get just higher than that 459, I like it bullish. And then a bigger target would be this little bit of a gap fill up to the 469.48. Now let's take a look at Adobe. That one, I think we top tick. Let's see. I forgot what day it was. I think we were down here somewhere. Adobe, just kind of hanging out inside day. Yesterday was a little bit of a gap and go, still inside day of this one. Gave us a decent range. I would say this one's not doing anything too crazy. I think this is a pretty decent gap on Adobe. It's going to make it tough. This is going to be a big resistance area. So resistance on this thing is anywhere from 560.37 to 565.10. So again, it could be a little bit trappy. If you could get above, lots of volume came on this one. If you could get above here, anything above 559.24, I would like bullish. Otherwise, I'd probably remain a little bit more bearish in that perspective. A little bit more bearish. Longer term, obviously, looks phenomenal. Absolutely crazy. And I think they do have a little bit of AI element to it as well. So I like it. I would love to see a little bit more of a pullback, but probably worst case, I think we hang out here first for a little bit longer, and then if we're going to go bullish, we make a move. So I don't think the huge move today on Adobe. Win is in the house. Good morning to Win. We got Amazon, Google, Microsoft, AMD. Ooh, covering all of them today. Let's see. The zone looks phenomenal. Again, retest gap. Plenty of room on this one. Yeah. So this is the one I like a lot. Could be in a little double topish. Again, this is technically a retest gap. Would love to be a tad patient at open. See if this one wants to dip and see if this thing wants to hold 144.27. But there is nothing stopping us at this point. If we get just a tad higher on this, next target will take us up to about 150, so about $5 higher. So again, pretty decent gap. We've run into this. I think this one pulls back. So far, in terms of ranges, I like this one the most. Google. The Googs. Another really good looking gap. Let's see if there's range on this thing though. Probably about to 139. So we get $1.50 for the initial one. And then I think longer term, probably about 140, 14, something like that. So this again has some decent range on it. Also a retest gap. So let's see if we get a little pullback at open. I would say probably into about 136.77, but let's add that a little bit higher on the list as well. We got a lot of interesting gaps. I do think probably just maybe a minute or two out of the gate to be patient would do us well. So the ones I like a lot, they are all retests. What's going on? This guy. All right, we got MSFT. Microsoft, another good gap. Target on this one probably about 140, 150. So we got some decent room. This one looks, man, Microsoft actually might be my new favorite. Again, retest gap. So still looking for at least a red candle I could take a break bullish on. This one, I don't really see anything holding it back, except for about 340.85. So it's still even a few dollars higher. I think that's an okay target, I guess, for the day. Plenty of room on this thing. Give me, dear market wizards, please let the market pull back for like a few minutes. Like give me like a good 3-minute candle somewhere. Don't open and just run and make life difficult. And I don't know if I have time to look at a lot of the pre-market breaks, but man, oh man, if you guys have some time, even if you guys want to throw some setups of any pre-market breaks, I'm down with that too. I don't know if the pullback's going to be too extreme. I would love to see one. I don't know if we see it. AMD still looks good. It's obviously been trying to fight bullish. Things been pushed around. Again, anything above 107, I like. Bullish to probably about 114 in a longer term perspective. So again, nice little gap above the VPOC at least. So we could have that to lean on. But we are still inside day. We still have a moving average here, which clearly we got rejected off of yesterday. And then the next immediate target, I think, takes us to 109.12. So that could be a little bit tough, but in the bullish direction, not bad. Adam says UAL, LUV, AAL all look abandoned baby-ish. Airlines. All right. This might be a spot to consider some airlines. Hector's in the house. Good morning, Hector. I feel like it's been a minute, Hector. I feel like it's been a minute. ORCL. Water gold. Good gap. Lots of room if we could get this gap fill. I was looking at this thing for a long term, and I think it has to come down a lot more. Biggest issue I have with this one right now is biggest issue I have right now is we do have a little bit of resistance we're opening to. Not quite above this candle. That would be some sign of decent bullishness if we get there. A few pennies higher. Let's throw this on the list. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know where this one's gonna get caught up with. I got to imagine there's some bulls trapped on this thing that just looking to get out for break even. Cindy K. Let me see if I missed anything out in my YouTube land. Rock is in YouTube land. Morning, Rock. Pen, please. Yeah, we did take a look at Pen, but we will pull it up again. Pen is decent. It has to pull back first for me. Again, and right now we're trapping some bulls. I mean, some bears, but not a lot of them. I think we still have too many bulls, too many bears absolutely still crushing life. Anybody shorting Pen is still extremely happy. Yeah, granted, they wake up a little less happy, but I don't think they're too concerned if they have a bearish case. But again, yeah, and these type of gaps could start to change bigger course for a stock. Longer term, this could be some kind of a bottom-ish, and then maybe we start cruising from here. It's possible. It's possible. But right now, I think if we could get a bigger pullback, test some of these $22 ranges, that might be at least a better risk reward on some of this. Yeah, Microsoft does look interesting. That's probably one of my favorites. Let's see if we can set that up pre-market. Let's see if we can get a little pre-market. Tesla, by the way, I do also want to look at the 30-minute candle. It was putting in quite the little hammer. Microsoft. Again, I don't know. I don't have a pre-market set up. That would have been it right here. Try to get in somewhere around 338.58. So maybe if it wants to pull back to that range, I could get the same setup. Otherwise, using 337.97 as some type of support. It's already kind of running. I still want something to pull back on it, even though I might just miss the whole thing. There'll be some kind of retest. Somebody's got to want to take profit. You got some leaps on Pen to gamble with. I mean, it's definitely low, but right now I think it's still catching a knife. That is a good gap for you though today. Let's just see if DraftKings have any luck. DraftKings, a little bit, just gapping ever so gently. It's kind of nice, kind of adorable. Grand Risings. Ooh, I like that. What's going on with AMC? You tell me. Does anyone know? I don't know how they're still in business, to be honest. That's where I get confused. I mean, they're still trying to survive from a Barbie movie, I think. A little bit of a gap up, also a retest gap. Highly manipulated stock. So just be careful on it. For me, not a long-term investment whatsoever, but it does trade fairly well, fairly consistent. I would be looking at this thing for, again, a little bit of a pullback. This is technically a retest gap. If you could get it, I think the first spot to pull back is 863. Otherwise, look for like 827. I mean, it's at, I think, all-time lows, maybe. I think we're at all-time lows. At least 52-week easy. So we will see. But it will be tough. All right. That is the sound of the morning bell. Everybody on YouTube land, I appreciate you joining us each and every day. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button, but we'll do this all again tomorrow.